uh, access the variable instance variables and methods of some other instance variables and methods of some other classes. So using inheritance, you can create a general class that consists of set of data members or member functions. So data members are called as a instance variables and member functions are called as a methods. So in terminology of Java, you are going to inherit one class from the another. So take the example. Now the class which is going to have the properties of another class is called as a derived class. And take example class A and class B. If class B is going to access the data members and member functions, then class B is called as a derived class and class A is called as a base class, because class B contains an object that derives the properties of class A. So that's why we can tell it as class B is inherited from class A. Similarly, you are inherited from your father, your father is inherited from your grandfather. Similarly, you is called as a derived class or subclass, and your father is called as a superclass or base class. So keep in your mind, you will be having two things. So here the base class is called as a superclass and derived class is called as a subclass. So subclass is going to have all the properties of the superclass. So that is the word you will call it in terminology. A class that is inherited is called as a superclass. That means you are being inherited from your father. That is called as a superclass. A class that the inheritance is called as a subclass. From where you are going to have the properties, that is called as a subclass. So subclass is a specialized version of superclass. So under that first topic, you are having inheritance basics. To inherit a class, that means to have the data members and membership functions of another class in your class into your class. That will be done by using the word keyword called as a extend. So following program, we take a superclass called two classes should be there apart from main function containing class. Understand carefully, in previous and all you were having only one class and another class which contains main function. But in order to have the inheritance, you have to consider the two classes apart from the main function which contain any class. Okay, so now you should have totally how many? You will be having three classes. So one is base class, the other one is derived class, and another class is the class which contains a main function. So totally you will be having three classes. So here we have a superclass called A and subclass called B. Notice how the keyword extends is used. So here is the following program. So first you will be having class A. Class A is the superclass. That means base class. So class A in the ಎಲ್ಲ data members member functions. No class B ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. So class A you are having instance variables I and j and a member function called show ij. Okay, instance variables ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು I and j and a member function or method called show ij which prints the I and j contents. So similarly, you have to take the another class, that is class B, which is called as a subclass. So subclass extends A. So that what the extent is going to tell, it is going to tell that it is been class B is class B inherits class A. So in that you will be having one instance variable k and one member function show k. So nothing more. Class A contains instance variables ij and a function show ij. Class B contains instance variable k and a member function show k. So now class B nalli yav instance variables, so k is an instance variable, as well as you will be having instance variables I and j. I and j will also be there in class B because class B extends A ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಎ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಿದಾವೋ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿಗೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಶೋ ಕೆ, so inside that you are printing what is the value of k, and another function called sum. So in that sum, you are going to have a values of I, J, K. So and you are calculating the sum of some value here. So these are the two classes. So here A class A is called as a superclass and class B is called as a subclass. Class A contains variables I and j with a member function show ij. Class B contains variable k with a member function show k and sum. So now you come for the class. So where your main contains, so main contains that particular class should be the file name. So suppose if your class name is a simple inheritance, so in order to type and execute this program, you have to have the file name as simple inheritance.java. So file name should be simple inheritance.java, which contains a main object. So now keep in your mind, you are having two classes with instance variables and member functions. So how to make use of this instance variables and member functions? For that, you create two objects. So one object is for class A, the other object is for class B. So what is the class object you create is super OB. Super OB is an object of class A and sub OB is the object of class B. Now super OB, as you have taken super OB is an object, it contains is equal to new of A. That means super OB is an object of class A which contains the values I and j and will act on show ij. Similarly, sub OB is an object which contain values I, j, k. As I have told, k is a instance variable and I and j are inherited from class A. So super OB will contain how many instance variables? It contains I, j, and k. And sub OB will have a two member functions. One is show k and sum. So now you come for the super OB, put the values for I and j and call the function show ij. That means super OB is an object which calls act on instance variables as well as member functions. So now we give super OB dot I, you are giving a value 10, super OB dot j, you are giving a value 20. So while understanding, keep in your mind, first object is going to take the values for instance variables and compute something using the member function. So now super OB will we are going to assign the values 10 and 20, and while printing now you have to call a function. What is the function? It is show ij. So now super OB will call a function super OB dot show ij. So here you are assigning a values for instance variables superob.i, superob.j, and next you are calling the function show ij using the statement superob.showij. Now it is going to print the values. So what the values printed? So contents of the superob, you will be getting I and j is equal to 10 and 20 are the values printed. So superob concept is finished. Now you come for the concept of a sub-OB. So sub-OB is an object of class B. So it should have all the values for the instance variables. How many instance variables you have? Sub-OB is of class B. So class B extends C. So how many values you have? K. And you also have the values I and J. As the class is been inherited, all the instance variables of class A are included in class B. So while giving the values subob dot I, j as well as this k you are going to take. So after that, once the values are given, so once the values, now you call the object with the member functions. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಸೂಪರ್ ಒಬಿ ಡಾಟ್ ಐ ಜೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಶೋ ಐ ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ರು ಐ ಜೆ ಕೆ ಮೂರು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಶೋ ಕೆ ಸಮ್ as well as show ij. So super sub ob will first have sub ob dot show ij. Idraddu sub ob dot show ij, it will show you the value what show ij. It will print the values as 7 and 8, not 10 and 12. That part is finished. Now you are assigning the values for I and j again here. So what are the I and j when you call the function subob.show ij? So it will print the values I and j is equal to 7 and 8. So similarly, sub-ob.show k. Show k is the function here. It will have a value k is equal to 9. So finally, you take a system sum. So this part is finished, this part is finished, remaining is sum. So for sum, you take I, j, k. So which I, j, k it is going to take? Keep in your mind, it is not going to take the values 10 and 20 to calculate the values of I, j, k. So it is going to take 7 and 8 and 9. 7, 8, 9 will result in a value 24. That will be the output. So in this program, what you are doing is only implementing the inheritance concept. So inheritance concept, I will be telling again, keep in your mind, inheritance, the instance variables of methods of one class are used in another class also. So ಯಾವ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾವೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎ ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಐ ಜೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಶೋ ಐ ಜೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. So class B that you are using, where you are using to calculate the sum. For that you are creating a two objects. One object is super OB that belongs to class A. The other one is sub OB which belongs to class B. So super OB will have two, as it belongs to class A, it contains two values I and J, and show ij is the value what you are going to print. Similarly, when you come for the sub OB, it will take how many values as it extends I and j values with k value is been taken, and it will first show the ij values, next it will show a show k, and finally it will calculate the sum. So totally the object sub OB will call on I, j, k as well as show ij, show k, and sum. So this is the inheritance concept. So now you come for this explanation. The class B, subclass is B, superclass is A. Subclass B includes all the members of its superclass A. This is how sub OB can access INJ and call show IJ. Also inside some INJ are referred to as directly as if they were part of B. Even though A is superclass, it is a completely independent standalone class. So general form of the class declaration of inheritance is given as class, subclass name, example B, extend superclass name, example A, with a body of the class. So body may contain instance variables as well as member function. It does not support, Java does not support the inheritance of multiple superclasses into single subclass. For example, class D extends A, B, C, D. Giving that example, it is not going to support because the multiple superclasses cannot be extended into the single subclass. So now you come for the next topic, that is member access and inheritance. So how the members access can be done, that will be illustrated. As I have told you, the subclass is going to inherit from superclass. So all the data members or instance variables can be accessed or not. So keep in your mind, although a subclass includes all the members, it cannot access those members of subclass that have been declared private. So keep in your mind, all the data members, if they are declared in public, they are accessible. If they are given under private, they are not accessible. So that is the concept. So for that, you have to illustrate this particular program. So first you will be having a superclass, two classes, and a class which contain main function. So totally how many classes you should have? Three classes. One is superclass, the other one is subclass, the other one is a class which contains main function. So first you take class A. In class A, you call two variables int I and private int j. So I is public by default and j is private to A. That means this j cannot be accessible by any other subclass or any other class. Okay, so only I will be inherited but not j. Why not j? Because it is declared under private. It is accessible only by class A, not by class B. So and now you call a function called set ij int x int y. So that is x is a value that you are going to set it for I, and y is a value that is going to set it for j. So that we give it as I is equal to x and j is equal to y. Now you call a class B. Class B is a subclass. So subclass extends A. In that you take instance variable total and you have a function called sum. So finally you give total is equal to I plus j. So when you give here I is declared private, it is accessible from class A. But when you come for J, it is given as private and that is not accessible by class B. Okay. So after that, now you come for the main function. So now you are doing nothing. So you are directly calling a member function main, that is an object sub-OB. Sub-OB is an object of which class? It is an object of class B. So it is an object of class B. So for that you are setting object of class B, B. So B inherits A. So how many values the B should take? B should take I, J, total. Okay, first ij and total is the thing you have to calculate. So sub-ob dot set ij of 10 comma 12. So that means our B is an object, sub-ob is an object that calls on function set ij. So you are not going to declare values for I and j because set ij will give the values for I and j. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, you are not giving the values for I and j directly using subobi.i, subobi.j. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ we are calling a function set ij of 10 comma 12 you are giving. So 10 is been assigned to x and it is been stored into I, and y is been assigned 12 is been assigned to y and that is stored in j. So okay, so that's why we are not going to give the values for I and j. So once you call the set ij, next we call a function sum. So that sum we have a function called total I plus j. So you can access the value 10 is been stored to I, 12 is been stored to j. But the thing is you are not supposed to have the value total because I is assigned value 10 that will be there, but j value what you are given 12 in class A cannot be inherited to class B because j is declared as private. So that's why you will be getting this one as error. So this is how now you understand which all the things can be accessed by inheritance, right? So now you come for the practical example. So for practical example, you will be considering the box class. So for box class, I will be explaining this particular program. So inside box, you are all familiar with variables, class name, constructors, everything. So now you consider the same thing. And what are all the member function you have? Volume. So volume is to be calculated. So now I will tell a class box is there. So that box will contain, this is a superclass and this one is subclass. So what the superclass will contain? It will contain width, height and depth. Okay, so as you are all having the value width, height, depth, so now we call a constructor. So constructor box of OB. So box OB, it will take width is equal to OB dot width, height, depth, it will be taking. So finally, when all the dimensions are specified, so when the dimensions are specified, you will be taking it as similarly WHD, similar to the previous program. If the dimensions are not specified, then assign the value -1, -1, -1 for all. But as in our program, we will be assigning the values. There is no need for this particular code. So okay, so in the coming point you will be assigning the values for width, height and depth. So at that time you will be assigning the values, so no need of giving the values -1, -1 for that. So now we calculate a box of double length constructor when cube is created. The width is equal to height is equal to, this is not required, but you can take this volume. So first thing is you first create a box. So assign the values and compute the volume. Assign the values for width, height and depth, WH and D, and calculate the volume. That is double volume return width star, height star, depth. So now that belongs to superclass. Now we come for the subclass. So subclass will contain the value box weight is a subclass name. So which extends superclass box. So here is the inheritance concept we have used. Class box weight extends box. So box weight is a subclass, extends box is a superclass. So now box weight will contain how many instance variables? It contains width, height, and depth. So similarly, here is a instance variable width, height, width, double weight. So that means weight of the box. So how many the subclass instance variable will contain? So instance variables, there are 4. So weight is an instance variable of box weight, and width, height, and depth are the instance variables of class box. All the 4 instance variables are included here. So after that, now you will be calling a box weight. So into that box weight, you call how many? So there you have taken the box is a constructor. So constructor you have given width, height, depth. Now we include a weight called M. So therefore that you have taken width is equal to W, height is equal to H, depth is equal to D, weight is equal to M. So same thing you are having to, there you are having box as a constructor, you are having a box weight as a constructor. So box weight as a constructor will take how many parameters? 4 parameters. So 3 parameters from the box and 1 parameter from the box weight. So that are the 2 subclass and superclass. So now you come for the main function. So for that you will be taking a class demo box weight. So under that you create 2 box objects, my box 1 and my box 2. Both belong to which class? Superclass or subclass? So as you have box weight, so box weight is a subclass. So you are creating an object of subclass, not superclass. So that will be taking it as box 1 and box 2. You are giving the values 10, 20, 15, and 34. This is for width, height, depth, and this is weight. So as box weight 1 will take 4 parameters, 3 from box and 1 from box weight. You are giving the 4 values here. Now we take a return value to, because it will be returning a value volume. So you will be giving double value. So vol is equal to my box dot volume. So my box 1 volume will be created and my box 1 dot weight will be created. So similarly, you are printing having a function my box 2 dot volume is will be printed, my box 2 dot volume will be printed. So my box first will be having 3024 because you are giving the values 10, 20, 30, and this is for 8 and this one is weight. So that is the illustration of what? Adding a 1 parameter weight. So that you have seen. So now you come for this particular concept. So box weight inherits all the characteristics of box and adds to them the weight component. So weight component is added where? In the subclass. So subclass box weight, you have added a weight component, and it is not necessary for box weight to create all the features. It can simply extend the box to meet its own. So similarly, if you want to create another parameter called color box, so which color the box is? So box weight is done. So similarly, box is extended to include the color. For that, you will be taking color box extends box. Int color is an object you are taking here. So for that, width is equal to height, depth are taken from which? Class box, and color is equal to C is the variable what you are going to have it in our color box function. So similarly, that this will be the program. So this program, what it is going to do here, a superclass variable can reference a subclass object. Superclass variable. So you can consider this particular program, a superclass variable can refer. So this is very exceptional concept what you will be having. So in order to assign the values. So superclass variable can refer a subclass object. So reference variable of a superclass can be assigned a reference to any subclass derived from superclass. So here we take the main function. So weight box is a weight two box. You'll be having two classes. One is box, that is superclass, box weight, subclass. Okay. So for subclass, you are creating an object called subclass object is weight box. So weight box you have taken value is 3, 5, 7. So now you take a plain box is equal to new box. So that is this is a plain of the object is plain box is a object of type superclass box. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So weight box is an object of box weight, which is a subclass, and plain box is an object of superclass box. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. So while giving the values, now take a return volume. So volume is equal to weight box dot volume. So weight box dot volume. For that you have to write the volume code inside a member function, inside the subclass weight box. ಈ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ weight box ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ. So weight box dot volume. So volume of weight box and weight of the weight box that you are going to print. So assign the box weight reference to box. So now box weight reference, what you are having, you are assigning it to the box. So weight box is an object subclass that you are assigning it to the superclass object. So that is you are going to take weight box is equal to plain box. That means all the values of weight box will be assigned to an plain box. So then finally you are going to have a volume function, plain box dot volume. Okay. So volume of the plain box will be printed. So this is this particular statement will tell you that an object of subclass is being referred to the superclass variable, that is plain box, because plain box is an object which contains which is derived from superclass box. Okay. So up to here, so that is the explanation. So weight box is reference to which class subclass, and plain box is refers to superclass box. Since box weight is a subclass, it is permissible to assign the plain box a reference. It is important to understand the type of the reference variable, not the type of the object what members can be accessed. Okay, when reference to assign to the superclass variable, you will have only access to those parts of an object given. Can't even access, that is the explanation what you are going to have. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಐತೆ. ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ವೇಟ್, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ವೇಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವೇಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ, ವೇಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ weight box dot width, weight boxes dot height, weight box dot depth, weight box dot weight. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಹಾಕೋದನ್ನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್, 3 variables, width, height and depth. So that will take the values 3, 5, 7. So from everywhere you are taking from plain box to weighted blocks, but now we are going to assign from weighted box to plain box. So for that you are calculating a volume. So weight box dot volume is equal to dot volume that you will be calculating using 3 star, 5 star, 7. 15 star 7 is equal to 105 will be the volume. So volume of the weight box ಏನೈತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ weight box ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಡಾಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ 3 star, 5 star, 7 only. Okay, so rather than taking all the values from superclass to subclass, here you are assigning the values to the subclasses and you are calculating the value volume, and that is been assigned into the variable plain box. What is the object? It is a plain box. So plain box in the ಎಲ್ಲ variables ನೀವು values ನ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ. Understood? So That is the explanation of this one. So that completes our first topic, inheritance basics. So next we will be having the second topic is super. So third topic is multi-level hierarchy, and fourth topic method overloading. So I will be stopping after here. So remaining thing I will share in the tomorrow's class. So any doubts you can ask me. Kindly understand the concepts with the programs. Programs are very important. Then you go for this executing the programs. Okay. So everyone read carefully. Thank you, one and all.